There is no time. There is no time. No more excuses. It's time to take action. It is time to stop procrastinating. It is time to take action. And I'm going to tell you how you will do that. I'm going to tell you what the first step is. Let's just simplify it down to the very, very skeletal step that you need to take, the very basic step you need to take. I'm going to talk about that. I'll start by telling you a story. Last year, January of 2024, God had told me to write a book. And for some reason, I just did not write it. I was so busy. I had so many things going on in my life, and I was just like, I'll write it later. Maybe it's later. Maybe it's later. And I kept on postponing and procrastinating until the year came to an end. And then December came, and I had still not written the book. And then I remember scrolling on Instagram, and I saw a young lady promote some publishers, and I took a step of faith and I reached out to them. And then they had this program where they're like, okay, we can't force you to do anything, but you have to write your book for us to publish it. And I'm like, okay, Lord, I get the point. And even though I was preparing to relocate around the same time, and so many things were just happening at the time, I was so busy, but I took that step of faith and I coached myself into finishing my book in 6 weeks. I finished writing my book in just 6 weeks, and I launched the book. But then I was later at the point where I realized that it was never about launching the book. It was about what God wanted to do with my yes. Now, fast forward, after a few months, my business was in a very stagnant place. And I was on YouTube and I saw this young lady, she was a business coach, a sales coach, and she was talking about doing sales and business with God. And I was like, interesting. So I reached out to her, and then that relationship and that rapport started. And one thing led to the other, and I eventually became a paying client of hers. In the course of all of this, I realized that every single time I did not know what to do, God sent help. He sent someone. He sent a person, a human being. Fast forward to today, that book has turned into a challenge, a Gracework challenge that I run, where I help people execute on their businesses, their business idea, their projects, their ministry assignments with God. Now imagine I never wrote that book. If I never wrote that book, I would have never had the coaching program. And if I never had the coaching program, I would not be at the center of purpose like I am right now. Sometimes you have no idea what you lose out on when you don't obey. Sometimes you have no idea what you miss out on because you keep procrastinating on the instructions that God gives you. I wrote that book last year. Now, 1 year later, that book is now a coaching program. If I had never written that book, the people that have been benefited and helped as a result of the coaching program would have never benefited and been helped out of the coaching program. The devil is going to deceive you. He's going to lie and say there's time. He's going to lie and say you don't have enough facts. But all those things are because he's trying to prevent you from walking fully into purpose. A lot of your answered prayers are tied to your obedience. It's time to take action. It's time to take action. A lot of people are going to have the exact same 2026 as they did 2025. Nothing is going to change. It's going to be an exact same year. Why? Because they didn't do anything different. They procrastinated on the instructions of God all through 2025, and then they'll do the same in 2026. And then 10 years from now, they feel stagnant. They feel like they're in cycles, no progress, no fulfillment. a bulk of unobeyed instructions. And then the question is like, oh, why? I've not seen the answers that God said he was going to give me. All the promises that God has promised to give me, I've still not seen them. Why? It's because you've not taken action. And God gets it. That's the crazy part. Like, he understands that you're busy. He understands that there is no clarity. He understands that you're confused. He understands every single thing. He gets it. And that is why he sends help. God knew that, left to my own, whims and caprices, I would probably still have not written the book till now. So he sent help. He sent someone to give me an incentive to take action. That is why God sends people. I spoke about my business coach. I found her on YouTube. I saw her on YouTube. And if I never reached out to her, joined her coaching program, made payments, if I never did any of that, I would have never gotten the validation that I needed to step into Christian execution coaching. I would have never turned the book into a program. I would have never done that. I needed to have my idea validated, and God knew what I needed. So he didn't just scream from heaven. He sent a person to help me. You might say, okay, you're telling me that God can help me. I will just ask God for help. God answers those prayers by sending people. Think about it. If you could have taken action all this while, you would have. If you could have done something about it all this while on your own by your power, you would have. So it's time to try a different strategy. It's time to do something different. It's time to take action with help. It's time to admit that you need help, and it's time to take action on that, to reach out to someone, to get the help. Even if it means you paying for it, investing in the help, it's worth it. It's worth your purpose. It's worth your destiny, your future. It's worth it. If you could have done it by yourself, you would have done it by now. Same thing I was saying to myself. If I could have done it by myself, I could have done it by myself. But the reason I didn't do it all the while, the reason I kept procrastinating was because I couldn't do it by myself. I needed help. I needed someone. God sent the person, and I needed to accept and pay for that help. So you might be watching this and saying, okay, I'm ready. I want 2026 to be different. I want to have a better 2026. I want to stop, getting stuck in these cycles and these patterns of disobedience. I want to take action. And I want to even try God and see what is at the other end of my obedience. Because the result is always what God wants to do with your yes. And God is very lavish. He's very generous. Very calculated, strategic. So it's like, if you're wondering, I'm ready to say yes, and I'm ready to be blown away by what God wants to do with my yes. I'm ready to be impressed. I just need to know what the first step is. If that is what you're saying right now, then I'm going to repeat what I've been saying. The first step is get help. You need a person, a human being, to help you. You need accountability. You need the structure that being with someone brings. And if you're wondering, who do I get help from? You're watching this video for a reason. It's not by mistake. It's not a coincidence. I have so many programs, both free and paid. Take advantage of anyone. If you want to take advantage of the free program, I have a 30-day prayer challenge that I host every December, April, and August. Join the prayer challenge. It's free. The links are below. At the very least, at the end of the prayer challenge, you will get clarity. You will know exactly what you need to do next. But you might look at it and say, do you know what? I don't want to join the prayer challenge. Well, join the coaching program. Join the Grace Walk Challenge. Learn how to execute with God. Actually, go through the process and see what life looks like when you obey. What is at the other end of all those instructions that God has been giving you? Like, just out of curiosity, try and see. Like, I'm just curious. What does life look like when I obey? It's like, just test God and see. What does life look like when I take action? And that is what the Grace Walk Challenge does. It's like, I'm going to teach you how to execute with God. I'm going to help you execute on the things that God has told you to do all these years that you've not done. You've not done anything about. I'm going to help you get clarity and take action. And so if that sounds like something that you feel like you need, and if that sounds like something that you feel like you've been praying for, the links are below. Click on any of the links. If you're looking at every single thing I'm saying and you're like, do you know what? I don't know what I want. I don't know if I want to join the prayer challenge. I want to know more about the Grace Walk Challenge. No problem. Fill the expression of interest form. Then I will contact you. We can talk. It's free. There isn't any excuse anymore for why you're not seeing progress, for why you're not growing, for why you're not moving on in purpose. There's no longer any excuse, not after watching this. Now, there is no excuse. I know you can have a better 2026. I know for a fact that you can have a better 2026. I know that. You just have to do things differently. You just have to do things differently. You can't keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Hello, Hafi. Hello. It's time to take action. Procrastination is killing your dreams. It's killing your destiny. It's killing your purpose. And guess what? God understands, and that is why He has sent help. Take advantage of the help. Take advantage of the help. Take advantage of the help that God has sent and take action. No more procrastinating. No more delays. There's now no more excuses like, oh, I don't know where to start from. Now you know where to start from. You can join the prayer challenge. You can fill the expression of interest form. You can join the Grace Walk Challenge. There is a clear plan on where to begin to make sure that you have a much better 2026 than 2025. I'm so excited for everything God has in store for you. Because you might be thinking, oh, it's going to take forever for me to get to that next level. No. You just need 3 months. 3 months of obedience and your life will change. 3 months of taking action with God and your life will change. Just 3 months is more than enough to see complete transformation in your life. You don't need a whole year. You don't need 10 years. You just need 3 months. Just 3 months of obedience, of execution, of finally taking action, and your life will be completely transformed. I told you guys at the beginning of this live about how all I did was write the book in 6 weeks. That obedience, that 6 weeks worth of obedience has changed my life. And I know that God wants to do the same for you too. So if you're listening to this and it sounds like something that you want, it sounds like something that you need, check out the links in my page. They are everywhere. In my about you section, the description, just check it out and take the first step. I'm rooting for you guys. Subscribe, please. Subscribe. And I'll see you next week. Take care and bye.